Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy Does It, a podcast created specifically for the amazing members of the MJ team. Rob and I are back with you again, excited for another great episode. Today, we are talking about, which I'm pretty sure Rob is really excited about this topic.
I am.
Attention is currency.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, and I totally just bombarded Meredith the other day, and she's like, what are you talking about? Attention is currency. And then she's like, what does that mean? And I gave her enough to put on a small sticky note. So This is going to be good.
So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
All right, but first, I hear we have another great Would You Rather.
Yeah. So this one has to do with Olive Garden, so you know it's good. All right. Would you rather out your coworker as a flat earther, and you've got receipts, or become a viral meme for crying during an Olive Garden argument?
Out a coworker as a flat earther.
Yeah. You got receipts. They get made fun of daily for it. Or you become a viral meme for crying at an Olive Garden in an argument.
Oh, I don't think I want to be a viral meme crying. I'm not a cute crier.
No?
No.
I always think about when I read this, this reminded me of the it's not a GIF. I don't know how to say it. We had an argument about that yesterday, but it's like, maybe it's the meme where it's the lady at the table and she's screaming.
Oh, yes.
Like I envision that being this right here. You could be like crazy popular. People will be like, oh, she's the Olive Garden chick.
I don't know. That could go both ways, though.
I don't know, but then it could make you rich.
There's been some memes that that's not what you wanted. That attention is not the attention you wanted. But I also too don't like to if you want to believe the earth is flat, whatever.
It's a pretty serious accusation.
I just am like, to each his own, man. Go
in the show notes, we're going to have some type of form to fill out so you can say flat earth or not. There is somebody here at MJ that is a tried and true flat earther, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we will not out that person.
No,
right?
No, I'll do it somewhere else. But I will tell you, I went in his office one day, and I'm like, so flat earth, huh? He's like, oh, yeah, doggone, yeah. Now you know who it is. And let me tell you what, it was like an hour-long conversation, and let me tell you, he presented some pretty compelling facts, and I was slightly convinced, just a little bit. I don't know.
Just let it be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with out the flat earther.
Okay.
I don't think I want to be viral for crying at Olive Garden.
No, I don't think I want to either.
I mean, don't get me wrong. A little soup, salad, and breadsticks never hurt nobody. But
man, their bread is bomb. Like, it is fire. I love it's been so many years since I had Olive Garden, but daggum, that salad and bread is to die for. Mm-hmm. I would put it right there beside Red Lobster's bread.
The cheddar biscuits.
Yo, that's so good. Mm-hmm. Like, they're right there. I mean, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Olive Garden or Red Lobster?
Ooh, my God, that's so hard.
I want one right now.
I'm gonna go with the cheddar biscuits.
I would too.
There's they have it flavor.
They have it at the store. You know that, right?
The box.
Yeah, when they started doing that, I
don't think we hang out with
her. I'm not too high enough to not go by there and get me one of them cheddar biscuits. They're good. All right, we're on the same page. I'll
out the flat.
I kind of just did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just what happened.
All right, there's that.
No, would you rather in that?
Hopefully, he doesn't get me later for that one.
Okay, so Rob's pumped about this, and as I read more about this, I started becoming a little bit more pumped myself.
Good.
I sure did. So our topic today is attention is currency. So, Rob, why won't you tell the people what you told? How did you explain this to me that came up in just one little sticky note?
All right, I got you. So here's something to set the stage for you all. So it says, your attention is being hunted. Every ding of a phone, every screaming headline for your outrage, every swipe, every scroll, they all want the same thing. Your currency, your energy, your life force. So it's like our attention, it's our time that we're giving people and things. It's something that you're trading for all the time. You're always giving it. I can't remember the name of the movie. It just popped on the other day. I think Justin Timberlake's on it. Some of y'all know what this one is, but your currency actually in that movie is your like lifespan, your time. And so if you want to buy dinner, they'll say it's 2 hours. And so you scan it and they take 2 hours of your life.
Are you doing your arm like this because there's like a barcode?
Yeah. They got like a little timer on it. And so you get paid in time and you pay for things in time. And so if you want food, you want to go on vacation, they'll be like, it's 200 hours. And so you give your time up. And so I think in this movie, he didn't have much time and then somehow he got a lot. And so then he was like going and living life like, oh yeah, I'll take it. Hey, take some for yourself too. And so I kind of think about it like that. When I first started really thinking about this, we just say like social media, they want your time and attention, all marketing, they want to grab your attention so that you go buy the product. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we are the guardians of our attention. And more times than not, I've found myself or just people out there, we give it away freely. The amount of time that we spend on things, we just give away freely and not thinking about the implications of what am I saying no to by saying yes to this.
Yeah.
And it's even interesting. Sometimes I'll spend time with other managers. I'll talk to supervisors and it's just like, man, there's just not enough time in the day. And I just don't have time for that. I've said that to my wife. I'm like, I don't have time. Like there's so much going on, but I have chosen other things and now it's resulted in me not having time for this. And the things that maybe you want to do more of, you just say, I don't have time for. Well, you do have time. You've just chosen to give your time to other things. We all have the same amount of time. How cautious are we of what we spend our time on? And so this topic today can go in so many different ways, but those were just a couple of the initial thoughts that I had about them.
Yeah, I love that. I think that was, as I started kind of looking into this, I started realizing like, it's really interesting to think of your time and your attention as currency, as like it has value, just like money does. But how we spend it, how we spend it is really up to us, because I think this goes back. We talked a couple episodes ago about distractions and how I think we talked about how we are more distracted now in this world that we live in than we ever have been before. And so I think it becomes even more important now because there are so many distractions to think about how am I investing my time?
Right.
What am I giving my attention to? Because as we both know, and we've talked on here before about is, what you focus on, you create more of. And so if my attention is my currency, and I'm spending that money, I'm spending that currency on thinking about problems, being negative, looking for everything that's wrong about a situation, then I'm using that currency, but then that's also giving me more of the same. So if I spend that time and energy and effort looking for all the negative things, I'm getting more negative things in return.
Right.
And so it just, I think, makes the argument so much stronger for protecting our time and protecting our attention and what are we giving it to?
Right.
Because not only can we not get it back, but it also then kind of dictates more of what's happening moving forward.
Yeah. You say that and it it reminds me of some stuff that we had talked about in the past with neuroplasticity, like the fact that your brain can continue to grow and form and develop. What you tend to spend your time and attention on, it literally grows your brain. And so if I am looking for the negative things in life, and that's just how I've been born and raised, and I've spent my time on that, and I continue to perpetuate that area of my brain makes more connections. And so it makes me more sensitive to see more negative things in my life. And like, that's great if you're using it for good, but if you find yourself in a negative feedback loop, you can't get out of it. Life just happens to me. You have that victim mentality. You can change it, But just know that the more that you live in it, the stronger the connections your brain get on that particular area. So it can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. I also think I came across, I do have a statistic.
Ooh.
We were talking beforehand. Meredith does not have a statistic today.
Not one.
I just realized that I had one. So it says your attention is your life in micro form. And it says 1 hour a day to distraction, which is really, sounds like a lot, but it's not. If you think about you scroll 10 minutes on Instagram or you listen to some garbage TV show or something like that. But 1 hour to distraction equals 15 days lost per year. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I know we all find ourselves in spots where we need to entertain ourselves, and maybe it's not the healthiest of things. We spend our time on so many useless things in our life, but oftentimes those useless things give us distraction, and it distracts us away from the things at hand. Maybe it's procrastination, or I'm avoiding this activity because it's going to cause me stress and pressure. And so we entertain ourselves, but 15 minutes or 1 hour a day, which I just think about in 15-minute blocks, which ain't hard to do, equals 15 days per year, which is a massive amount. Imagine how much time you would get back if you focused in on the things you need to, or even cut that in half. That's huge.
Yeah. So this was, I don't know who this cat is, Carl Richards, but I found an article that he wrote, which kind of goes along with this social media piece. So he talks about how, unlike money, there's no way to store attention for later use. You know, so like for money, we can put money to the side and we can have that for later use. Your attention is not like that. What you have right now is what you have right now. There's no storing it up for later. Like I can't keep some of my attention for today and then use it tonight when I get home with my kids.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I thought that was an interesting way. It's like, is it like currency? Yes, it's like money. But at the same time, it's a little bit different from money as well, because we can't save it for later. What it is what it is. We either use it right now when we have it in this present moment, or we lose it. It's gone, just like time, right? You know, it's either what am I doing right now in this moment, and is that what I should, would be doing in this moment?
Yeah.
So he also talked about how you can spend time on something but still not be paying attention to it. And so then he brought up like spending time with his kids, but really being on his phone.
Right.
And thinking about just because you're devoting time to something does not mean you have devoted your attention to it. And so I thought that was another good point, is just to think about, just because I'm sitting in the room with my family does not mean that I'm paying attention to my family. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
And so he talked about, I'm just going to read this because I think this is a really smart thing for everyone to do.
Yeah, please do.
Myself included. Pretend you woke up tomorrow morning and someone took all the things you now pay for with attention and switched it to money. So I didn't say that. I didn't say those words right. So everything that's free now, we give it our attention. Let's just take Instagram, for example. I give Instagram my attention every day. So now we're going to switch my attention for actual dollars. Okay? To spend time on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, you would have to enter your credit card number. To check out what your friends are doing on Instagram, you would need to pull out that card again. So every time you go to that Facebook app, Instagram, click, click, click. Ching, 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 right? How much would you spend on Twitter then?
I guarantee you a lot of people would be like, nah, I'm putting my wallet back in my pocket.
Yeah, he even said $20. So over the next week, I challenge you to ask one question before you do anything that seems free. If I had to pay $20 to do this, would I still do it?
Wow.
The price is high enough to make you think, but low enough that if you really want to do something, you'll feel comfortable saying yes.
That's mind-blowing right there.
I was like, oh no, I should just delete the apps right off my phone.
Dang. Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, because it is, we think of certain things as being free. You know, I mean, because it doesn't cost anything to have any of those apps. And I mean,
Right.
I think social media is an easy target, right? But that's not the only thing. I mean, that's not the only thing that we could probably substitute some other things in here. But what are we missing out on? What opportunity are we missing out on when we're choosing to do those things? And would we pay for them? Would we swipe that card every time, $20 a pop to get however long?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, the answer to that would be no. So I thought that was like such a way to think about whether you really truly feel like it's worth your time and attention is would you pay for it? Yeah, my answer is no too.
No.
But look at me over here still
doing it.
scrolling Instagram.
Yeah, we doing it.
Look at me still over here, laying on the couch at night, because I think that goes back to kind of the same thing he was talking about is like at night, our normal kind of routine at night is, we have dinner, the girls kind of go up to their rooms, and then Michael and I sit on the couch, and 9 times out of 10, he's watching TV. I don't really watch a lot of TV, and then I'm literally sitting over there on my phone doing a number of different things. I mean, it's not always social media, but a lot of times it is. So I'm spending time with Michael, but I'm not paying attention to him.
Right.
Those are two different things. So what could I do differently? Am I missing out on opportunities there? Am I missing out on opportunities there to have a better connection with him? I think because it's free, we don't realize we're making a trade.
Right.
Like, because we're not having to actually give anything.
You just turn the TV off and then just slide over. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? Let's talk about it. Mike, we're like, get out of my face right now.
I'm trying to watch my show.
Yeah, it is. I mean, social media as a whole is absolutely not free. I mean, I'm sure, there's so much revenue that comes out of that thing. Companies are just constantly trying to buy your attention all day long. And we give that attention away freely, sometimes in crazy excess. We all do it. And it's not, again, like you said, social media is an easy out, but it could be products that I buy that take my time to consume. If it's watching TV, every day I'm going to eat this thing. It takes my time, but I know that it's not just my attention, but it actually can take away from my time. So I also think about this as like your health too. And so if I'm eating garbage, I'm giving that thing my attention. And if I do that every day, that could remove time on this end. And I'm trading that time for a little bit of satisfaction now. So going back to 1 hour equals 15 days in a year, I have a question for you.
Oh.
If 1 hour equals 15 days per year lost.
Don't make this a math question, please.
It's not.
Okay.
Lord, because I couldn't do the calculation myself. 1 hour equals 15 days per year. You're at the end of your life. How many days would you want back? Give me a number.
What do you mean? All of them?
Well, how many would that be?
Of the 15 days?
We're at the end, and it's like you can get back your distracted time. How many days would you want back? Just give me a number.
All of them. I don't know what number to give you.
Give me some.
100.
100 days. I'll give you 100 days back. Where would you spend those days? Where would you put them? Would you put them in the middle of your life?
Oh.
Earlier on, or would you put it at the end?
I think I would put them right now. Where is that in my life? I don't know.
Exactly where you are.
Early. We'll say that's early in my life. I'm going to choose to look at it as being young. Yeah, I think now is a good time. Yeah. I think there's some, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I think there is some level of, I don't know, acceptance and maturity that comes with age and time. And I just feel like now I'm a little bit more comfortable in my own skin than I've ever been. And so I think having more days to be in that place than to be in the place where you're always kind of wonder, I don't know if this not being self-critical, but I think I'm in a better place with that.
Yeah.
The ages of my children now, we're not in the throes of diaper changing and, we're not in the survival mode of parenthood. So I like that aspect of having more time right now too. Plus I guess subconsciously I probably choose right now because we have big milestones coming up for our kids, over the next 10 years or so. And so it's just maybe keep them babies at home for 100 more days.
Yeah. I know it's tough. Like I know Shallon recently, not long ago, just went through like kids going off one of them going off to college. And I mean, just experiencing that from her eyes, like it's tough. It is a big milestone moment, and you hope that you prepared your kids as much as you possibly can, that they make the best decisions that they can. And I know, her daughter, both of them are great, and Shallon does a really, really good job. And I know that they make challenging, hard, right decisions every day. And so you hope that you send your kids off. But even if you can get a few days back of like, I wonder what else I can teach, I'm sure.
Yeah, it does. Reframing it like that certainly makes you think of. So if you ask me that question and I say right now, if I would put the days right now, then that should make me question myself of whether I'm utilizing the days that I do have right now at this time.
Yeah.
If I would put them right now, then all of this kind of goes back to, am I choosing to give my attention to the right things right now?
Right.
If I truly feel like this is the time where I would use that extra time, is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
some days no. I mean, some days the answer to that is no. There's absolutely.
I think we could all find more discipline in the now. I mean, I guess that's the whole point of our talk today is what can I adjust and change to make my life more rich and more full? And the now is all that we do have. You can't know or change the future. You can essentially create it, which is a beautiful thing, but it's the now and the things that have happened to us in the past. I can't do anything but learn from, but it affects the now. And so changing your future is something that you can do, but it's just living in the moments. I love the moments of looking ahead and then saying, all right, what can I do now to get this? So if it's goal setting or even if it's changing relationships or changing your behavior so that you can have a richer life. I mean, that's all that we can really control right now. Some of the things that we have in our life, we can control. And then there's other ones that if we draw awareness to, we recognize that we've lost control of certain things. So when it comes to our attention, there was something that I came across, and it says attention isn't always intentional. It can be leaky. So it talked about the fact that I think last time we talked about that when I task switch, there's emotional residue or there's attention residue that gets left behind, and I got to gain it back. It's more energy to get back. But I would find that there's probably a lot of things that we are doing that we're just not paying attention to that end up losing us time, that we spend our attention on things. And so one thing that I came across, it talked about, of course, the multitasking myth. And so I'm going to hit it again. Like multitasking, you are really just task switching.
Yep.
And so it just talked about that is one of those practices that I think there's people that are probably better at task switching, and it looks like they're actually doing two tasks at once. But this talks about the amount of attention you're putting into that is higher than it really needs to be. And then if you just did one thing at a time, you would actually accomplish a lot more if you just focus on one thing at a time. Brandon talked about this at our last departmental meeting, the Ivy Lee method. If y'all have never heard of this, game changer. So the Ivy Lee method is the night prior, you sit down, you write down what 6 most important things you got to do in the following day on a piece of paper, planning it out, putting them in order of importance. Number 1 at the top, number 6 at the bottom, no more than 6. And then when you come in the next day, you start on the topmost item. and you don't move on till number 2 until you accomplish number 1. And so the gentleman that did this, I wonder what his name is. Ivy Lee. It's called the Ivy Lee method.
Man, wouldn't it be so cool for like 100 years later, people to just like spit your name out as like this really cool technique, Ivy Lee?
It's the Meredith Cabana method. It's the Cabana method. That would be dope. You should come up with one. Use one of your extra days and come up with something good. Dang.
That's crazy. I mean, this is not like, this didn't happen just like a few years ago. This has been around for
a minute. Yeah.
People to just be throwing your name out there.
Yeah. I have a sheet on my desk that I've been doing that for a while now. I know Dewey rolled it out a long time ago, and I think when I first took this role, was the first time that I did it consistently. So it's probably like 5 years ago. I remember I was down in the broom closet across from Mike Simon's office. And I just remember it just being a whirlwind all the time, and my little Ivy Lee list flying around in the room because the air conditioning. We work for a heat and air company. It's a little crazy up in this piece, but I've been doing it pretty consistently since then. So I have a bunch of pages of just old Ivy Lee stuff, and it's so nice to be able to go back and be like, dang, I've done a lot. But it is extremely helpful to get the most important things done every single day. But that right there keeps your attention focused on what's most important. It's easy for people to walk in your office, or you get a phone call, supervisors. It's very challenging to get things done when you have so many things bombarding you. And so it's a battle of wits. Do I attend to this or not? What is most important? I said this was most important yesterday. Am I willing to tackle it and actually do it and show that it's important by accomplishing it? Or am I saying yes to something else? So that was something that I wanted to bring up, because that has been a game changer for me a long time ago, and I still do it today. I still have mine on the thing today. I made a fatal flaw and I had 7, and I'm like, I got to pick one. I got to take one off my list, but it's a big help.
Yep. Yeah. I ever since Brandon talked about it in the departmental meeting, and then I think Dan and Dave kind of collaborated over in plumbing install and IT, and they sent out something about you can now kind of do this in conjunction with your email and your calendar, and it's called To Do.
Go figure.
Wow. They could have called it the Cabana method. Something better.
I'm going to start calling it that and hope it sticks.
So you can keep it. I keep mine up right alongside my email. So when I have my email up during the day, I can also see my list on the side. Now, I will say that my list has more than 6 things on it, but every day I prioritize the list. So like there are things at the very bottom that I know I'm not going to get to for likely weeks, but I don't want to write them somewhere else.
It's like a thought catcher for you.
Yeah, like I'm trying to consolidate and not write something in my calendar and on my computer and here, there, and everywhere. So when I have my to-do list up on the side, or my Ivy Lee, as best I can Ivy Lee it at this point, it's really nice because it's like as soon as I'm done with something else, I'm scanning that list. Or if it's like I have 15 minutes before I have to go to this meeting, I'm scanning that list. Because some things on the list are like send a reminder out to whatever, or get prepared for next week's peer groups. Well, I can't get prepared for next week's peer groups in 15 minutes. So I can knock something out on that list. But it's nice having it right there, because I feel like I'm not spending those 15 minutes kind of just like, what can I do next? Or let me pick up my phone. You know, I mean, it's, there's some level of just focus there, I think, that it creates for you. So I do appreciate being able to just scan that list over and over again, because it's kind of like a living and breathing document for me. And so I always know that I'm capturing there the things that are worth my attention, or that are going to have to take at least a few minutes of my time. I do think that what you were saying, particularly for, you know, our managers and our supervisors who are out there, just, man, especially over the past few weeks, it's been hot. It's been hot here in Charlotte, and they have been just being so supportive, and, you know, helping techs out in the field and helping out customers, and just really helping the ship run. And when they're not, you know, in the midst of all of these things that are kind of being thrown at them, then it's almost like having this to fall back on helps them then get back to the things that are important.
Right.
It's always going to be a fire to put out.
Every day.
It's always going to be a fire to put out. So, but there's not fires to put out every minute of every day.
Yeah.
So what are the things, I know Brandon said working on the business instead of in the business. And I think that stuck with a lot of people. I've heard that from a lot of people kind of after that. And so I think are we always going to be working in the business? Yes. We are a service organization. We provide service to lots of people here in Charlotte. So we're always going to be working in the business. That's how we make this machine run. But I think there's always this idea of working on the business because I kind of feel like we're never satisfied. It's like, are things running well? Yeah. Could they be better? Yeah. I mean, we're always working on the business to be able to take it to the next level. And I think if you don't have some idea of what you're doing to work on the business to keep coming back to, like through the Ivy Lee list or to give it that attention, it's just easy. It's easy to let the day-to-day of it all kind of bog you down.
Yeah. And I think I have to challenge myself this question. I'd love to know your thoughts on it too. But for everybody out there, it's like, what does working on the business look like for you right now? Mm-hmm. It's easy to have tasks on your list that are in the business, and there's nothing wrong with that. There definitely are requirements of the day that I gotta work in the business right now, and especially for those of you that are on the front lines and our supervisors out there, it's tough. Like you got customers, you've got parts, you've got techs, you've got all the things. When it looks like working on the business, it takes a higher level of thinking. It takes thinking a little bit farther down the road. What do you feel like that looks like for you right now?
Mm-hmm. So I think in the business for me right now looks like the day-to-day things. So I help a lot with getting people licensed. And so to me, that's working in the business. Mm-hmm. That's helping people day to day get things submitted for their license, get them set up for the test, that kind of thing. That to me is working in the business. Mm-hmm. Working on the business to me is like lately I've been doing focus groups. I've done focus groups with HVAC service, plumbing install, plumbing service, and HVAC install. I'm coming for you next. Mm-hmm. I've been doing focus groups with groups of supervisors. I've been interviewing some of our managers and directors, just trying to get a sense of, is the training team doing what we should be doing? Are we focusing on the right things? Mm-hmm. What does it look like to move training forward for Morris-Jenkins, period? That to me is working on the business. We've been doing a lot of that in our department lately, is just looking for, are we focusing on the right things and what is going to move us in the right direction? So, are the classes that we're offering the right classes? What could we do to help our technicians and our plumbers feel more technically sound in the field? Mm. I think we do a lot of great things. Is there always room to improve? Yes. And so to me, that's working on the business. That's looking forward to where, every technician at Morris-Jenkins feels confident, is technically sound. And that's always going to be kind of ever changing because technology changes and the things that we offer to our customers change. So to me, that's working on the business instead of just in the business, which feels a little bit more like maybe the day-to-day.
Yeah. It's very easy to work on the day-to-day and it's necessary. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, I know the supervisors, it's really tough to pop up above the weeds and see a little bit farther down the road. But it's a good practice. So we just yesterday interviewed a phenomenal candidate. And we were just talking about the businesses that she's been a part of. And she's run a couple of large businesses and organizations. She's currently running a store right now. And we were just asking some questions about what would be the plan if you were to get hired and where would this go? And I thought it was really cool, her response. And it's actually a really good practice for all of us. She said, stepping into something that I'm unaware of, I need to figure out who the people are. I need to figure out what's required. And then once I get an idea of what the job is, I then need to prioritize what's most important right now that I need to work on. But you don't really know what that is until you get started.
Yeah.
It's nice getting the feedback from the individuals. It's like, these are kind of the things that we're seeing, but the best and most beautiful part is bringing somebody that has a different perspective and might see things with fresher eyes. Mm-hmm. How can we do that every day for ourselves and say, if I were to step in this role right now, right meow, and look at it and say, what are the things that I need to tweak?
Yeah.
If I were fresh on the case, what would that look like? And that reset is a beautiful practice to have that can take you to the next level.
It's like looking at yourself from the outside.
Yep.
I think Stephen Covey talks about that in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He's like, pretend that you're sitting up in that corner and you're just watching yourself. This is the cool thing that like humans can do, and like nobody else, no other species can do this.
Right.
They don't have the capacity, their brain capacity doesn't allow them to look at themselves from the outside in. And so if you were looking at yourself from the outside in, would you say, I'm working on the most important things?
Right.
Watching yourself work and what you're doing in the day-to-day, if I was thinking, is she working on the most important things? Would I be saying yes or no? You know, because when you kind of remove yourself from what you're engrossed in, it kind of changes the way you think about it. No different than paying the $20 to get on Instagram.
That's still I've got to like write that down somewhere, because that changes a lot for me. I mean, $20. Hey, if you want to look on Instagram today, it's $20. Or if you want to do X, fill in the blank, it's $20 or $50. This is a big deal. That's a game changer.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same thing. Like, I know you two gym goers that I have in here in the room with me right now. Like, I kind of feel like that would be a no-brainer if I said, would you pay $20 today to go to the gym?
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess you kind of already do if you're paying
per month. I, in fact, do pay for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, there is an actual trade there.
Yeah. What? Let's add. What if there's certain activities that you actually get something back out of, like you get money back out of? I might be paying $20 to go to the gym, but it actually is paying me something back.
Oh, yeah. Because really it is.
Yeah.
That's the next step to this question.
Yeah, this is the Meredith Cabana
method.
Yes.
Too bad.
Yes.
Carl Richards.
We just made it better.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought. Like if I'm paying for my gym membership, so I guess technically you are making a trade to go work out. But if every time I did it, I got like $50 in my pocket.
How many times would you be going?
Every day.
She's like, I'm putting my gym in my garage. I'm doing it twice a day.
Yeah, but I wonder for those people who, because this is what so I don't go to the gym. I just work out at home. But so the same thing, would I pay $20 to work out at home? I think that's when you really have to think about future self.
Yeah.
Because right here in this moment, I don't know that I necessarily want to pay $20.
It's $20. People do that every day for lunch. You know how many DoorDashes I see delivered to this building?
I know. But if I knew I got $50 back for doing my workout at home, because really it's like an investment that you're not seeing yet.
Yeah.
Or you are seeing it. You are seeing it now, but you for sure are seeing it later.
Yeah, it's all a trade. Whether it's attention or I'm choosing that choice, I'm choosing this. It's always a trade. All of it. Every decision is obviously every decision's a choice, but I'm always trading something for something.
Yeah.
Every decision. So I think if we look at all things in life, I'm always making a decision or trade. Every decision is a trade. That's how it should be said. What decisions or trades would you be making? So if it's I'm going to the gym because I'm trading just a little bit of my time for future self. This is what I want to be. Or I'm trading time right now with my children for better relationship in the future. I'm trading this cheeseburger for my health later on, which means, I mean, like if you knew that 10 cheeseburgers equals a 60% chance of ending up in the hospital 30 years from now, it's like, would you even like tempt the line and be like, all right, I'll just do 8? Or just be like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, right? Because guess what? It kind of is. You know, it's like all of those decisions that we make, we're just trading the potential for good or bad later. And so what decisions are we making every day? If we could go back, fast forward in the future and then rewind back and be like, yo, you just need to put this down, put this habit down. I was talking to somebody here the other day that had like one of those little vape things. There's some cool looking vape pens. Have you seen them things?
Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes
amazed
people
at
put
some
them
of
on
them.
the table and I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. I thought it's like a recording box. I'm like, you recording this conversation? It's got the little antenna on the top. I don't know what that thing is. It's like a camera. There was somebody.
Definitely not an antenna.
Where this conversation is going off the rails right now. Have you seen some of the vape pens that are like that long? You can construct them like that has like the diffuser thing on the bottom. It has the kit thing in the middle. It's got the mouthpiece you can change out.
No.
There's somebody here know what I'm talking about. But you can construct some crazy machines out of all that stuff. My point with it is every puff on that pen or every time that you go back, I'm refilling. It's a choice. I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm like, man, how long you been doing that? I didn't even know you were doing that. And it's like, I need to stop. It's like, I could take care of that for you right now. I'll throw that puppy in the trash, not yours, because I know you'll pull it back out. I'll go find one somewhere and I'll go throw it away for you. And it's okay. Like some people aren't ready for that choice.
Yeah.
But some people are. And so it's cool when people take back their agency and they just say, hey, I'm making this choice because I see what the future holds for me. I see what future I can potentially have, but I also see the future if I continue down this path. I don't know. It's cool because you can actually take back and create the identity that you want for yourself. Every decision you make creates an identity. It may not be the identity that you want, but much like you were just talking about, I think what you said was Stephen Covey, Mr. Covey, old Steve-O, LeBron. What was it? LeBron James from last time. I mean, like if you were looking at yourself and you just say the identity that I have of myself right now is the belief, like I see the image that I have. If it's not the one that you like, the beautiful part is you can change it. And identity is really comes down to self-belief. I believe myself to be this type of person. And if you don't like that person, you can change it. And so it's just choice by choice. And the cool part is once you start making choices and that starts to shift behaviors are choice, it starts to shift my behavior. And when that starts to change, my habits change. And then when my habits change, my path changes. And then the more consistently I do it, the greater that new identity becomes. And so if I can make those choices, it's as simple as it is. If I make those choices, I can become something different. And that's what is so cool about this life that we have. We all have choice. I don't care how challenging things are. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Life is going to give you the set of cards. It's just I got to figure out how I'm going to play these puppies, you know?
Yeah, I think I read a lot about that, what you're talking about now, where you put your attention influences your behavior. You know, it influences your emotions. It influences all of these things that you give your attention to. They dictate the choice you make about where you put your attention. It dictates your emotions. It dictates your behaviors.
Yeah.
And then those things ultimately dictate where you're going in your life. And so the freedom to choose, or the art of responding, right? How do I respond in this situation? I think a lot of it comes back down to that. I read James Clear. I get his email. I've said this, I think 100 times.
I saw your
here.
email today.
Yeah. If you don't get the James Clear email, it comes once a week. It's really short. It's easy to read. And it is, to me, gives you a little bit of something to think about. Today it said this, it is common to think about what you would like to accomplish. It is less common to think about what must be discarded to make space for your new endeavors. The time must come from somewhere. What do you need to give up to make space for what you would like to achieve? So the same thing we're saying right now. Most of us, it's common for us to think about what we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's less common to say, okay, what's got to go in order to make space for that? Because our time, our attention is like a currency. We only have so much of it.
Right.
So I can't think that I'm going to have this new endeavor and something else. I'm going to keep everything. The plate just keeps getting more and more and more and more full. And then no progress is made on these endeavors that you want to go forward with.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a thing that's something that we have to think about. What if I'm saying yes to this new endeavor, then what am I saying no to because something has to come off my plate?
That reminds me of the good old garden. My mom used to go out, and she had a green thumb. Like, she could make plants grow like crazy. And she spent a lot of her time out in the garden. And my weekly task was to cut the grass. And then every once in a while, maybe 2 months, she's like, all right, it's time to cut the bushes. I hate cutting bushes. No, wait, I take that back. I like to cut the bushes. I hate picking up the clippings. That's the worst part. I don't think I figured out the blanket trick or the like tarp trick. You just put them on there and clear it out. So I hate picking those up. But she would be over there weeding the garden, the bed, right? And getting all the weeds out. And every week she would be out there weeding the bed. And like that, it just looked miserable. But if you don't weed the bed, they just continue to grow and they perpetuate. And so that constant discipline every week that my mom had kept our house beautiful and kept the flower beds clean. And they're truly flower beds. They're not weed beds.
Yeah.
And I think about the things that set into our lives. Oftentimes the junk that's there that takes our time, if we don't weed the bed on that, you don't go back and look at it and say, I need to remove these things, those things can quickly grow. And the next thing you know, the good things that are supposed to be there are small and we don't pay much attention to it. And then the complaint is, I never have enough time because all these weeds, the bad choices have accumulated into this just pile of mess. And then that stress, that stress adds more to our life and the attentions that we have to give. And so then that perpetuates, and we talked about the brain grows in that way. It's like, I'm stressed all the time. Well, you got a bunch of weeds in the bed. We got to get these things out.
Yeah.
So you got to pull them one at a time, and sometimes painstaking, and some of them get set in real deep where you got to do a lot of self-work to be able to remove something that you've been doing for so long.
Yeah, that's an interesting point that you're making about, it's not that I don't necessarily have time. It's that I've allowed too many weeds potentially to grow, or even just too many plants in general. And so I think that we can get confused about that. It feels like I'm too busy, but in reality, there are some things that could be plucked out that would allow time. This garden thing, I just have to say this because I heard this the other day too, and I thought this was kind of goes along with what we're talking about, but it was really more about mindset, which I guess this is kind of along those lines. And I'm sorry to everyone who likes Brussels sprouts. I, for one, do not. But basically what they were saying, I don't remember what I was listening to, maybe Mindset Mentor, the podcast, but he said you can't plant Brussels sprouts and expect to get strawberries. So like, I think about that as like, if we're choosing what we're planting, what we're spending our time on, what we're giving our attention to, we can't plant the nastiest vegetable on the face of the earth, right? Brussels sprouts, and expect to get something different. So if the garden that I'm planting is this something that I don't like, or that I know is not good for me, I can't expect then on the other side to get something out of that's yummy and sweet and delicious, like a strawberry. Does that make sense?
It does.
I thought that was a really great analogy to recognize, kind of like you reap what you sow. So if all you're planting all the time is Brussels sprouts, you can't expect to get strawberries on the other side. That's not how life works. That's not how our mindset works. That's not how, when we're talking about what we're focusing on, that's not how your brain works.
Yeah.
You get more of what you're focusing on or of what you're planting. And so I think that's it goes back to what are we giving our attention to? Are we planting the right things? What do we see? What do we want to see on the other side?
Yeah.
Adam Grant, love him. There was one thing, because you talked about the Ivy Lee list, which I think is a great strategy for how to focus your attention. He talked about something. I was listening to a podcast of his too. Never heard of this before. It's called a to-don't list. Not a to-do list, a to-don't list.
Okay.
So in order to help protect like attention, time, focus, whatever, he says like, I don't turn on the TV unless I know what I'm going to watch. So there is no time like Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, there's no 30, 45 minutes, an hour just searching. I don't turn on the TV unless I know what I'm going to watch. I don't scroll social media unless it's like the situation presents itself where there's like not a whole lot else that could get done in this moment. So the example he gave was like sitting on an airplane. You're just kind of like waiting. I feel like you could probably make the argument that there's something else you could be doing during that time.
Yeah.
But, kind of setting some parameters, the to-don't list. And so I don't think you would have a lot of things on this list because how would you ever keep track of like, I'm not going to turn the TV on. I'm not going to use social media. There would be too many things to kind of think of. But I think if you set kind of these boundaries essentially on when am I going to allow my attention to be pulled in one direction or the other.
Right.
I'm not going to get on social media when I'm like have other people in the room that I could be building relationships with or having conversations with.
Mm-hmm.
That would take a lot of discipline on my part. But I thought that was such a great idea. And just to think of how are some ways that I could cut back on some of this kind of just nonsense time. I think of like the scrolling through. What am I going to watch on Netflix? Nothing on Netflix.
There goes 15 minutes right there.
Yeah. What am I going to watch on Hulu? I don't really like anything else. I mean, before you know it, let's get an hour is gone. An hour that you could have used to do something else.
It's a phenomenon to finish eating your dinner while you're scrolling to find what movie to watch.
Yeah.
On one of those platforms. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, I guess I'm not going to watch anything. Literally, the scrolling was your entertainment while you ate. Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah. So I liked the idea of a to-don't list, kind of just setting some parameters for when you're going to kind of allow yourself those times of distraction.
What would be on your to-don't list? Or what would be the first one that you feel like would be an easy, yes, I should do that?
I think it would have to be around the social media piece.
Yeah.
In this, like, we've talked about this on here before. Is this like need at the end of the night to feel like that's like a decompression strategy?
Have you ever just like deleted yours off your phone?
No, but I've really thought about it.
Why'd you do it today?
I knew you was about to say something like
just
that.
Do that. Just do it. What do you need it for?
I don't know. I don't know. I would just have to tell my sister, like, send me all the pictures.
She has your phone number.
I know. She does.
Just do it today. Where's your phone at? Me and a couple of friends, we do a charity event every year. It's coming up in September. I'm so pumped. If you want to come, hit me up. I have my own personal Instagram, which I probably haven't posted anything in like 2-3 years. And then I have the charity event Instagram. And so we constantly have to post on there. A friend of mine, she does an amazing job posting and keeping the interest. She's just really good with that. It keeps me off of it because I don't like doing that. Mm-hmm. If I did not have that going on, I would just remove it off my phone. In fact, usually last year when the event ended, I think I kept it for maybe a week and then I just deleted it off my phone. I didn't like delete my accounts, but I just deleted it off my phone and I didn't really have the ability to get on unless I went home. I have like a phone that at nighttime, my sleep ritual is I'll turn some mindless garbage on YouTube and I'll just pop my earbuds in and then I'll just fall asleep. I'm learning about Dune right now, the TV show, the movie or whatever, and it's a very long history, and it is not interesting, and so that's what I sleep to. But I had Instagram on that phone, and so if I really wanted to do it, I could look at it for 5-10 minutes before I went to sleep, and then I'd put my thing on YouTube, and then I'd fall asleep. And so I still had it. I just didn't have access to it, and it was hard. Going back to James Clear, adjust your environment to create a habit or remove it. And so I did not want to go grab my other phone and turn it on. And so I was just like, I doesn't look at it.
Yeah.
So some people are like, dude, I sent you, people are like, I want to watch the reel with you,
Oh.
They send you a reel but it's like, dude, I sent you like 10. You didn't even say nothing. I'm like, I don't have it on my phone anymore. Like, oh, but then they still send it to me. Anyway.
That's sad.
Yeah. They stopped sending them. But just delete it off there. You don't need it. Try for a week. See what it's like.
Okay. I've been thinking about it.
You guys heard her say it. As soon as this podcast is over, it's gone.
Okay.
Your life. You're going to gain back so many days of your life. It's going to be great. Literally.
You're right.
Facts. Facts.
You brought the stats.
Yeah, I brought the stats. This feels good.
I didn't know the
this.
stats was going to be used to throw right back in my face.
Yes, here we are. So attention is currency. So what do you feel like your big takeaway from today is? This has been awesome.
Delete my Instagram. No, I think my biggest takeaway is that everything is a trade. Whether it feels like a trade or not, that you're trading your time, you're trading your attention. So I think being really thoughtful, being really intentional, using some strategies, like the Ivy Lee or, there's lots of things like that. Even like you were just saying, change your environment. You could put things in a different room, or I've heard a lot of people when they're home with their families, it's like their phones go in a box. I think they even have like some special box you can buy for that.
I'm not buying a box. It's a shoe box. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag. We'll put it in the back of the toilet.
Nobody better touch these things. So I think it is. There's so many things out there that we could use if we just made the choice. If we just made the choice to use them, there's strategies out there to help us focus our time and attention. So I think just thinking of what are the trades that I'm willing to make, and what are the ones that I'm not.
Yeah. I think probably my biggest takeaway today was if you had to pay to use this thing, would you do it? If you're going to rot your brain out with something, or you're going to choose something, would you pay for it? Or we talk about the Meredith Cabana method today,
Right.
We just starting it. We're just going to make it happen.
I hope 100 years from now, somebody's talking about me in their departmental meeting.
This is going to be an epic podcast. They don't even know yet. I had this one final thought for today, and then we'll wrap this up. It kind of ties. It does tie into what we're talking about today, but it goes into the identity piece that we kind of talked about. It says your identity is not found; it's focused into being. Once identity shifts, behavior changes. When behavior changes consistently, your path shifts. And so today, your attention is your currency. And so if you want to change your future path, you just change what you're paying attention to right now, and things will change for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man. I love it.
Who would have ever thought attention is currency? You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first,
That's
folks,
right.
Even though I found articles online.
It happened on a small Post-it.
That's right, on a very small Post-it. All right, guys, we appreciate you listening. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we have our own YouTube channel. So don't forget to jump on there and subscribe so you will never miss a new episode. We appreciate you guys. We will see you soon. Peace, love, and easy does it.
I appreciate y'all.